Doctor's secret: eat before bed to fix hormone imbalance overnight. Are you tired of feeling like your body is working against you? Are you exhausted from the irregular cycles, the frustrating weight gain that clings on no matter how little you eat or how much you exercise, the cystic acne that appears like clockwork, the hair thinning where you want it thick and growing where you don't, and a bone-deep fatigue that no amount of coffee seems to touch? Have you been told this is just PCOS and that you just have to lose weight, yet every attempt feels like pushing a boulder uphill? It's a profoundly lonely and confusing experience, feeling misunderstood and dismissed, left to navigate a maze of symptoms that make you feel disconnected from your own self. The good news, the real glimmer of hope in all this, is that understanding why this is happening is the key to finally making progress. What if I told you that a significant part of rebalancing this complex hormonal puzzle doesn't involve more restriction, but rather a strategic, nurturing addition to your day? What if the key to starting this healing process wasn't about what you stop doing, but about one simple thing you can start doing, specifically right before you go to sleep? In today's video, we are diving deep into a surprising, almost counterintuitive strategy that many doctors and nutritionists are beginning to embrace for hormonal health: the concept of eating a specific type of snack before bed to help fix hormone imbalance overnight. This isn't about a magic pill or a quick fix, but about using targeted nutrition to support your body's natural processes while you sleep, helping you wake up feeling more rested, more balanced, and more in control. So stick around, because this information goes against conventional diet wisdom and might just be the missing piece of the puzzle you've been searching for. These are life-changing nutrition insights that address the root cause of the hormonal chaos, and you don't want to miss them. Before we get started, I'd love to know where you're joining me from today. It's so powerful to see our community growing, knowing that women from all over the world are here, together, seeking answers. Drop a comment below, and feel free to ask any questions you have as we go. This is a safe space for all of us. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a health-boosting tip from our community, where we are dedicated to finding real, compassionate solutions for hormone health. First, let's talk about why the nighttime is so incredibly critical for anyone struggling with polycystic ovary syndrome, and why so many of us feel like we are fighting a losing battle. To truly understand the power of the bedtime snack, we first need to understand the chaos that often happens inside our bodies between the time our head hits the pillow and the time the alarm clock rings. For so many women with PCOS, the underlying driver of our symptoms is something called insulin resistance. You've likely heard the term, but it often isn't explained in a way that truly makes sense. Think of it this way. Insulin is the key that unlocks your cells to let glucose, or sugar, in for energy. When you have insulin resistance, your cells have become numb to insulin's knock. Your pancreas, trying to get the message across, shouts louder by pumping out more and more insulin. This flood of insulin is a major problem. First, it signals your ovaries to produce more androgens, like testosterone, which leads to symptoms like acne, hirsutism, and irregular periods. Second, high insulin levels lock your fat cells, making it incredibly difficult to lose weight, even when you're doing everything right. Now, what does this have to do with sleep? Everything. This hormonal imbalance is deeply intertwined with another powerful hormone, cortisol, our main stress hormone. In a healthy person, cortisol is high in the morning to wake you up and slowly tapers off throughout the day, reaching its lowest point at night to allow for restful sleep. For women with PCOS, this rhythm is often completely broken. We are frequently wired and tired, with cortisol levels that are too high at night, preventing us from falling asleep, or too low in the morning, making it impossible to get out of bed. Here is the vicious cycle that happens overnight, and this is the core of the problem we are aiming to fix. You eat dinner, and perhaps your blood sugar spikes. A few hours later, in the middle of the night, your blood sugar crashes. This dip in blood sugar is perceived by your body as a life or death emergency. It's a famine, a threat, In response, your adrenal glands panic and pump out a surge of cortisol and adrenaline to save you. This surge does its job. It tells your liver to dump its stored glucose into the bloodstream to bring your blood sugar back up. But it also does something else. It wakes you up. That 3 a.m. wake-up, where you're suddenly wide awake, heart pounding, mind racing with anxiety, that is often a cortisol spike triggered by unstable blood sugar. This nightly cortisol surge is catastrophic for PCOS. It screams stress to your body, which worsens insulin resistance, creates more inflammation, and signals your ovaries to produce even more androgens. You wake up feeling exhausted, anxious, and hormonally taxed before your day has even begun. And I need you to hear this, truly hear this. This is not your fault. This is not a failure of willpower or discipline. You are not weak because you crave sugar or carbs, or because you can't lose weight. Your body is stuck in a survival loop, desperately trying to manage its energy in a system that is hormonally dysregulated. It's a complex biological cascade, and you've been trying to fight it with tools that were never designed for this specific battle. The feeling of being betrayed by your body is overwhelming, but the truth is, your body is just trying to communicate. It's sending you these desperate signals. Millions, and I mean millions, of other women are lying awake at this very moment, feeling that same surge of anxiety, staring at the ceiling, and feeling utterly alone in this struggle. You are not alone. We are here together, and we are finally starting to understand the rulebook. We are learning how to work with our bodies, not against them. This understanding, this compassion for what your body is going through, is the first and most crucial step toward healing. We are reframing the problem not as a personal failure, but as a biological challenge that requires a biological solution, and that solution begins with stopping that middle-of-the-night panic signal. This brings us to the first part of the solution, the very concept that might feel wrong but is absolutely essential: the strategic bedtime snack. For decades, we have been hammered with the message, "Don't eat before bed. It turns to fat. It's bad for you." This advice, while perhaps relevant for some, is not only unhelpful for women with PCOS and dysregulated blood sugar, it can be actively harmful. When we go to bed on an empty stomach, or after a dinner that was too light or too carb-heavy, we are setting ourselves up for that inevitable 3 a.m. blood sugar crash. We are priming the system for that cortisol spike. The entire goal of the Doctor's Secret Creatine snack is to create a gentle, stable, slow release of energy throughout the night. It's not a meal. It's not a late-night binge. It is a small, precise hormonal tool. Think of it as a time-release capsule of nourishment that keeps your blood sugar from falling off a cliff, tells your adrenal glands that everything is safe and secure, and allows your body to stay in a rest and repair state instead of a fight-or-flight emergency. Can eating food daily, specifically at night, really help reduce your symptoms? Yes, absolutely, when it's the right food. We're not talking about a bowl of ice cream or a handful of cookies, which would spike your blood sugar and make the problem worse. We are talking about a very specific combination of macronutrients designed to buffer that hormonal response. By preventing the overnight crash, you prevent the cortisol spike. By preventing the cortisol spike, you reduce the signal for your ovaries to overproduce androgens. By keeping cortisol low, you improve your body's sensitivity to insulin. And as a beautiful side effect, you actually sleep deeply and restoratively, which is when your body does its most profound healing. This is the foundation. The strategy is to provide just enough fuel to keep the engine humming smoothly all night long, without ever revving it into a spike or letting it stall into a crash. But I know what you're thinking. If it's not cookies, then what is it? What kind of food can possibly accomplish this? That's the most important part, and it's simpler than you think. But that's just the beginning. The next step, identifying the components of this snack, is even more powerful and often overlooked. May I ask you something? As we talk about this, I want you to just check in with yourself. How many times have you felt completely and utterly alone, sitting in a doctor's office, trying to explain your fatigue, your irregular periods, your acne, only to be handed a pamphlet on weight loss or a prescription for birth control? How many times have you cried in a fitting room, frustrated that your body just doesn't feel like your own? Like nobody in your life, not your partner, not your friends, not even your family, could possibly understand the deep, invisible struggle you face every single day. I know how much that hurts, and I need you to know, from the bottom of my heart, you are not alone in this fight. Your pain is valid, your struggle is real, and it is not in your head. If you feel this, if this resonates with you in that quiet place you don't often talk about, I want you to do something for me and for every other woman watching. Leave a comment below saying, "I understand this struggle, hard." Just write exactly that. Your message, your acknowledgement, might be the one thing that gives strength to another woman who is scrolling through these comments right now, feeling hopeless and needing to know that someone, somewhere, finally gets it. Let's show each other that we are a community. Now, let's build this perfect hormonal support snack. The first and most crucial component is a combination of high-quality protein and healthy fat. Forget the fat-free diet culture of the past. It was a disaster for our hormones. Healthy fats are the building blocks of our sex hormones, and both fat and protein are champions of blood sugar stability. Why? Because they digest very, very slowly. Unlike carbohydrates, which can be broken down quickly into sugar, protein and fat are complex. They require more time and energy from your body to process. Imagine you're building a fire. Simple carbs, like sugar or white bread, are like throwing paper and kindling on the flame. You get a big, fast, hot flare-up followed by a quick burnout. This is the spike and crash. Protein and fat, on the other hand, are like putting a dense, heavy log on the fire. They don't flare up, they smolder, providing a steady, consistent, low-burning heat all night long. This is exactly what we want for our blood sugar. Can a simple spoonful of almond butter really make a difference in a condition as complex as PCOS? The answer is a resounding yes, because it addresses the root instability. When you have a small, fat and protein-rich snack before bed, you are essentially providing that log for the fire. You are giving your body a long-lasting fuel source that prevents the dip, stops the panic signal, and keeps the cortisol monster in its cage. How do you apply this? We're talking small, targeted portions. This could be a small handful of walnuts or almonds. Walnuts are particularly fantastic as they also contain omega-3s, which are anti-inflammatory. It could be a spoonful of pumpkin seed butter or sunflower seed butter. Pumpkin seeds are also a wonderful source of zinc and magnesium, two minerals critical for hormone health and often low in women with PCOS. It could be a hard-boiled egg, packed with protein and healthy fats. It could even be a few slices of avocado with a sprinkle of sea salt. The key is that it's nutrient-dense, slow-digesting, and small. We're aiming for perhaps 100 to 150 calories, just enough to stabilize, not to stuff. If you've been finding this information helpful so far, if it's clicking for you, please take a moment to hit the like button. It helps our community grow and tells me I'm on the right track. This protein-fat combination is the cornerstone, but it's only 2/3 of the secret. There's a third element, a carbohydrate element, that when used correctly, actually lowers cortisol and helps you fall asleep faster. This leads us to the most counterintuitive part of this entire strategy, the inclusion of a small, strategic carbohydrate. I know. For anyone with PCOS and insulin resistance, the word carb is terrifying. We've been taught that carbs are the enemy, that they are the direct cause of our insulin spikes and weight gain. And it's true that large amounts of refined, simple carbohydrates, especially eaten alone, are disastrous for our blood sugar. But this is not that. We are talking about a small specific type of carb used as a tool, not a meal. Here's why. Your brain and body actually need a small amount of glucose to function optimally, especially at night. One of its jobs is to replenish your liver's glycogen stores, which is its saved-up energy. If those stores are empty, your body is more likely to perceive a famine and trigger that cortisol spike. But even more magically, carbohydrates play a key role in sleep. They help an amino acid called tryptophan cross the blood-brain barrier. Why does this matter? Because tryptophan is the precursor to serotonin, our feel-good neurotransmitter, which is then converted into melatonin, our primary sleep hormone. So, a small amount of the right carb, paired with the protein and fat we just discussed, acts like a key. It helps unlock the brain's calm and sleep pathways, actively helping you wind down and lowering cortisol, rather than spiking it. Can adding carbs before bed truly be safe for PCOS? Yes, if we are smart about it. The spike we fear comes from the type and quantity. The solution is to pair our protein and fat, log, with a tiny bit of kindling from a complex, high-fiber, low-glycemic source. This buffers the insulin response completely. The fat and protein slow down the absorption of the carbohydrate, resulting in a gentle, rolling hill on your blood sugar chart, not a spike and crash. What does this look like in practice? It could mean adding half a small, pre-cooked sweet potato, eaten cold, with your spoonful of almond butter. It could be a few whole-grain, high-fiber seed and crackers with a slice of avocado. It could even be a tiny portion, maybe a quarter cup, of cooked quinoa or berries mixed into a small bowl of unsweetened coconut yogurt. The amount is critical. We are talking 15 to 20 grams of carbohydrates total, not 15 to 20 grams of the food. It's a small, gentle nudge, not a meal. This combination, the fat, the protein, and the strategic carb, is the complete trifecta. It provides the long-burning fuel, the hormonal building blocks, and the key to unlock your brain's natural sleep-inducing chemistry. But we can refine this even further. Now that we understand the what, we can focus on the quality and the ingredients that deliver the maximum possible hormonal benefit, transforming a simple snack into a powerful piece of medicine. This is where we bring in the superfood element, the part that truly reinforces the credibility of this as a doctor-backed secret. We're not just throwing any fat, protein, and carb together. We can be incredibly intentional by choosing foods that are packed with the specific micronutrients that women with PCOS are so often deficient in, namely magnesium and B vitamins, which are crucial for managing stress and insulin. Magnesium is often called the relaxation mineral, or the calm down mineral. It is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body, including insulin sensitivity, muscle relaxation, and the production of calming neurotransmitters like GABA. The problem? Most of us are chronically deficient, and women with PCOS have been shown in studies to be significantly more deficient than the general population. The symptoms of magnesium deficiency read like a list of PCOS complaints: anxiety, insomnia, leg cramps, muscle twitches, intense chocolate cravings, and difficulty managing stress. So, when we build our bedtime snack, we can prioritize magnesium-rich foods. This is why pumpkin seeds, almonds, chia seeds, and even a small square of very dark, 85% or higher chocolate are such fantastic choices. A pudding, made by letting 2 tablespoons of chia seeds soak in unsweetened almond milk for a few hours, is a perfect example. Chia seeds are a powerhouse of fiber, healthy fat, protein, and magnesium. It's the complete package. Another powerful strategy is to incorporate anti-inflammatory and adaptogenic herbs. This is where you can create a truly healing ritual. Consider a golden milk white latte, but a small, bedtime-friendly version. You'd warm up some unsweetened almond or coconut milk, add a teaspoon of turmeric, a potent anti-inflammatory, a dash of black pepper to activate the turmeric, a small spoonful of coconut oil, the healthy fat, and perhaps a pinch of cinnamon, which helps with insulin sensitivity. This warm, nourishing drink is incredibly calming to the nervous system and actively fights the chronic inflammation that is a hallmark of PCOS. Or, you could have your handful of almonds alongside a warm cup of specific herbal tea, like chamomile, which calms the nervous system, or spearmint tea, which has been shown in clinical studies to have anti-androgenic properties, helping to reduce testosterone levels in women with PCOS. This combination of the right macronutrients and the right micronutrients is what makes this strategy so effective. It stops being just a snack and becomes an active therapeutic ritual. We've covered the food, the fuel. But this entire process, this perfect snack, can be rendered useless if the one other crucial element of your evening isn't managed: your environment and your cortisol. The final piece of this puzzle, the secret that ties it all together, has nothing to do with food. It has to do with the signals you send your body before you even eat the snack. You can craft the most perfectly balanced, magnesium-rich, blood sugar-stabilizing snack, but if you eat it while scrolling through stressful news on your phone under bright overhead lights, you are defeating the purpose. Why? Because of cortisol. Remember, our goal is to lower cortisol. Bright lights, especially the blue light from our phones, tablets, and computers, scream, "Wake up," to our brains. They actively block the production of melatonin. Scrolling through social media, checking work emails, or watching an intense television show keeps our brains in an activated, threat state, which keeps cortisol high. You are, in effect, signaling daytime and stress to your body, while simultaneously expecting it to magically shift into nighttime and repair. It cannot do both. Therefore, the doctor's secret is not just the snack. It is the ritual that surrounds the snack. This requires creating a cortisol-calming wind-down routine for at least 60 to 90 minutes before you want to be asleep. This is non-negotiable for hormonal health. This means dimming the lights in your home, which is a powerful biological signal to your brain to start producing melatonin. It means turning off the screens, all of them. Read a physical book. Listen to calming music or a podcast that isn't stimulating. Take a warm bath with Epsom salts, which is a fantastic way to absorb magnesium through your skin and relax your muscles. Do some gentle, restorative stretching. Write in a journal, emptying your brain of the day's worries. This process of creating a sleep sanctuary and a calm-down ritual is what prepares your body to receive the benefits of the snack. Is it really that important? In the world of PCOS, where our nervous systems are already so frazzled and our cortisol is so dysregulated, it is everything. This ritual tells your body, on a primal, hormonal level, that you are safe. The threat is gone. The famine is over. You are nourished. You are secure. Only then, in that state of calm, when your body is primed for rest, do you have your small, strategic snack. This is how you reclaim the night. This is how you turn your sleep into a period of profound healing, rebalancing your hormones, calming your nervous system, and finally, allowing your body to repair. If you made it this far, it means you are searching for answers, relief, and hope. It means you are tired of the confusing, one-size-fits-all advice, and you are ready for a compassionate, intelligent approach to your own health. This channel was created exactly for that, to be a guiding light, to help you understand the deep, intricate workings of your body, regain control, and find solutions that actually work because they honor your unique biology. You are not alone here. We are building a safe space, a community where women like you can find support, validation, and real information that makes a difference. This is not about restriction. It's about nourishment. It's not about fighting your body. It's about learning to listen to it. If this is the kind of guidance you've been looking for, the kind of support you've been missing, I invite you to subscribe now and turn on the notifications. Every video is a step toward a healthier, more balanced, and happier you.